And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another season of Cadet Soccer here on the Cadet Student Network. We are so excited to be bringing you the CBC tournament, as always. In the opening game just moments ago, the St. Louis U-High Junior Billikens pulled off a stunning and shocking, I will say, 4-0 win over the Vianney Golden Griffins. And this is set for the second game of the first match day of the CBC tournament. It is CBC against DeSmet here on CSN. My name is Tom Eichwald. I'm very proud to be bringing you this game. And alongside me, Mr. Tim Halfman-Morris.
It's great to be here, Tom.
So we're getting set for a special pregame ceremony honoring Brett Bozeski. Brett Bozeski was in the class of 2008, and he was a member of the 2005 state championship soccer team. We are going to have a special walkout before the game. We're not going to be able to hear what public address is saying. However, it will be as follows. We will rise and remove our caps for tonight's prayer, and the prayer will be a moment of silence in remembrance of class of 2008 graduate Brett Bozeski, who passed away this summer. Brett was a member of our soccer program and played on the 2005 CBC State Championship team. Throughout the season, the cadets are wearing armbands marked with Brett's initials in remembrance of his life. We are happy to welcome members of Brett's friends and family who are with us as we honor him tonight. He remains a beloved member of our school community. And as further remembrance and testament to the person and character of Brett Bozeski, the special walkout tonight will actually be CBC players walking out to center field with members of the Missouri Rush Girls U19 team. That is the team that Brett Bozeski coached. So he was a coach of a team just up until his passing this summer, and so they will be honored and walked out as we begin this evening to a version of You Will Never Walk Alone, one of Coach Terry Mickler's favorite soccer anthems. So that is what you're about to see. We'll talk more about this throughout the game. You will also hear a lot tonight about CBC alum class of 2006 grad Zach Tierney. We'll talk about him and his family and what you can do to help the Tierneys as they bounce back from Hurricane Harvey. Of course, Zach living down in the Houston area, losing his home, and looking to bounce back with the support of CBC. We'll tell you how you can help throughout the broadcast. But as we start, our thoughts and prayers are with Brett, with his family, and with his friends. Have to say, as we get started, it is a beautiful evening here at CBC. The sun is going down, but it's 75 degrees, cool breeze. It is a perfect night for high school soccer. And we have the CBC tournament every year, Tim. Take us through a little bit about what this tournament means.
It's a great start of the year. It's a great start of the year in a way to get these teams to see this intense competition right off the bat. And it's a great way to get sort of the legs under them quickly. All these teams will see each other multiple times through the season, and also a lot of these teams will see at the end of this season. And so it's great to get a lot of reps in and to get that opportunity to play as much high-level competition as we can.
And CBC currently coming into this game with some impressive form. A lot of overtime wins, penalty wins. We'll talk you through these two team seasons. But as we get set, you're not going to be able to hear it, but we will have a prayer, we will have the national anthem, and we will have the walkout in honor of Brett Bozeski. So we're going to take an audio break. We'll bring you the visuals, but I don't know that we'll be able to bring you the audio. So stick with us. We'll be back in the booth following the commemorative walk-up in honor of Brett Bozeski, class of 2008.
Are wearing the armbands marked with Brett's initials in remembrance of his life. At this time, we ask that you call everyone's attention to the area in front of the press box down on the track. where we are happy to welcome members of Brett's family and friends who are with us to honor him tonight. He remains a beloved member of our school community. At this time, Coach Mickler and the staff will present them with a signed ball as well as a scarf from this past year's state championship team. And now, we'd like to announce, accompanying both teams onto the field this evening are members of Missouri Rush U19 Soccer Club. These young ladies were coached by Coach Brzeski, and we're so glad to have them with us tonight.
Through the storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of love. Walk on through the wind.
At this time, we ask that you continue to stand. Gentlemen, remove your caps for our opening prayer and the playing of our national anthem. Let us remember that we are in the holy presence of God, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Lord, we thank you for being with us. As we enjoy tonight's contest, please help us to do so with good sportsmanship and respect. We give you thanks for the talents of these young men, and we pray that they carry the bonds of brotherhood formed on the field of play with them for the rest of their lives. Please keep all participants free of injury and continue to send your blessings to our schools and communities. For this we pray. Amen. St. John Baptist de La Salle,
Pray for us
live Jesus in our hearts.
forever.
And we want to welcome everybody back to the Tim Kylo broadcast booth here at CBC. And there you had the opening moment of silence in honor of Brett Brzeski, class of 2008. Good to see a number of the members of his class and his teammates down on the field as well. And the walkout with the Missouri Rush Girls U19 team, which Brett Brzeski coached. So certainly a great scene here, and a reminder that in the grand scheme of things, soccer's only a small part. It's the community that gathers around you that matters, and certainly good to see that tonight for the Brzeski family as our prayers are with them. As we transition into getting ready for the soccer tonight, it's always fun when CBC goes against DeSmet, no matter when it is. And the last time we saw this, Tim, it was one of the most fun games I have ever seen. I'm certainly saying that because I'm wearing purple. If I were wearing a different color, I'd have a different assessment. It was the district final out at Lafayette High School, CBC versus DeSmet in the district final. CBC won on penalties. What a game that was after DeSmet had knocked them out the year before. These two teams have such a good rivalry going, especially over the last few years in meaningful games, that the first time you get to play your rival in the season is really a special evening.
We can also probably thank DeSmet for sending us on that state championship run. I feel like either team that came out of that game really was going to take all the emotion all the way through to the state championship, and CBC definitely did that. Ended a great year last year.
That is a fair assessment. We do have our starting lineups in tonight, so just to take you through those. For DeSmet first, Logan Payne in goal, number 1, junior goalkeeper. Eric Nicolason, number 2. Number 3, Jackson Anderson. Now, I was trying not to say Jackson Andrews. I always say that when we're calling CBC basketball. Jackson Anderson. Number 5, Josh Lindell. Number 8, Alex Walters. Number 9, Avi Wessa, speedy threat. We've seen him year after year. I'm sure we'll be talking about him plenty tonight. Number 10, Matt Lucas. Number 15, Matt Russo, younger brother of John Russo. You've heard us talk about quite a bit. Nick Gruey, number 23. Number 24, Kyle Burke. And number 25, Henry Lawler. That is the starting lineup for DeSmet. They will be in the maroon, going right to left across your screen, and CBC in the home whites, going left to right. The starting lineup for the Cadets. Nick Randazzo in goal. Brendan McAllister, number 2. Kurt Miller, number 3. Jack Edwards, number 4. Nolan DeWeese, number 5. Colton Walsh, number 6. Nate Tem, number 8. Reese McKell, number 9. Nick Dempster, number 10. Number 11, Sam Benoist, and number 13, Seth Kasich, going out there for the Cadets tonight. So, there are your starters. They are on the field. We are in the Tim Kylo broadcast booth. We are ready. We do want to let you know that tonight's kickoff is brought to you by TJ's Pizza, now available in the concession stand at all CBC home games. We'll be telling you about them throughout the evening. And what a beautiful evening we have for soccer. We are underway as Jack Edwards sends a long diagonal on the Nate Tem, but that is sorted out early by the DeSmet left back, who's currently covering his number with his hands. That is number 24, Kyle Burke, that dealt with that ball. Now Reese McKell. Cross in from Dempster, just over McKell. Quite a good start to the season for Reese McKell.
5 goals in 5 games. It's a perfect start for a striker. Really, for CBC, it is the Reese McKell, Nick Dempster show. They account for the grand majority of shots. A lot of the attack goes through them. They lead the stats with goals, shots, and it's really, for DeSmet, they're going to try to have to contain those two, and it's really, really hard to do right now in this part of the season.
And as we get set, this is Nolan DeWeese playing out for Brendan McAllister on the right-hand side. He gives it away and then brings down Eric Nicolason. A little bit sloppy for McAllister off the start. Need to pick up the tempo a little bit.
Now on DeSmet's side, it is also a 1-2 punch with Matt Lucas and Avi Wessa, the stats leaders there, both having 2 goals, also leading with shots as well. But a little bit more rounded attack from the DeSmet team. Many different players registering goals, as opposed to just 3 players or 4 players from CBC recording goals so far in the season.
And as Nick Randazzo gets his wall set on his right-hand post, that is the near post, 4-man wall. That is respect for the shot is what that is. This is Nicolason. He's going to ping it in the far post. Randazzo should have this, but he lets it go wide. Interesting choice on the 4-man wall. I don't know that the shot was as big a threat there. I think it was always going to be a cross to the far post. But as it is, it's harmless in CBC's eyes. You talk about the DeSmet attack. I will be very interested to see, because the last few years, what we've seen from them has been very consistent. They have had a big physical forward player, and they have looked to establish a spine. That means getting a big physical forward, mixing it up with the center back, and then allowing the attack to take shape around him. It's looking, at least early, like DeSmet may try a little bit different approach where you have a 2-man front attacking as opposed to the 1-man linchpin that they've kind of had in the last few years.
Yeah, up top you have Nick Grew, who is a very physical presence up there, and then you've got the speedy Avi West on the outside with Matt Lucas playing sort of behind the attackers, being more of a controlled attack option.
We're 3 minutes into this one. If you are interested, the wind is blowing right to left, so the wind is in Nick Randazzo's face in CBC's goal right now as we get a long throw. That'll come in to about a little short of the penalty spot, headed away by DeWeese. That was hit back in. It looked like Kyle Burke trying to hit that one in. Didn't make it too far, and we get another DeSmet throw. I would imagine we'll see the throw attempted flick somewhere around the near post.
Yeah, look for floating balls to get pushed towards that goal. That's what DeSmet's trying to do right here, is just get in there early in the game and try to create some disruption when things are just starting to get organized.
It is a steady breeze. Probably a full club wind for all you golfers out there. No more than that. And that's broken up. Ball played by, that was Sam Benoist. And now being chased down by Reese McKell. Dempster was helping. And DeSmet sorts it out. Good possession soccer from DeSmet.
DeSmet coming in here with a 3-1 record. Really, some highlight wins for them were first game started off with a win, a 2-1 win against Marquette. Always a strong team, and just recently came off a win against Francis Howell Central. CBC, of course, coming off that big, huge win last week against Rockwood Summit. Huge win there. That's
huge game.
Number 3 in the nation. Summit came into that game.
Well, and that was coming off of an emotional penalty win at Chaminade the Saturday previous. So a big week for the Cadets. And in talking to Coach Glenn Zipfel, he said with this group, it's all about mindset. He said if they go into a game really prepared, not just tactically, not just knowing their roles, but really mentally prepared to dominate, they will. It's just a matter of how they're approaching the game. So I think tonight what you look for from CBC, are they playing dominantly? Are they looking to control? Are they playing almost arrogant soccer is what you really want to see from this group, because they have the talent to play that way, and you really need to do that to take the life out of your opponents early. Foul here by somewhere between Edwards and Tem. I believe it was a foul by committee, we'll say. Probably going to be against Edwards, if I had to guess, as we get 5 minutes gone here in the first half.
Look for this ball again to be another sort of lofted ball. See if it can travel with this wind. The wind's picked up going towards that attacking goal for DeSmet.
And you want to force Randazzo to make a decision. That's the most important thing you can do here. This is going to be number 24, Kyle Burke. He's going to hit this with the left. It's probably going to be lofted, maybe a touch outswinging, but it's going to be tough with this wind. I think it's going to be just lofted in straight. You'd like to see him get a little bit more under it. I think he maybe missed a little bit. Because, again, you want to try to draw Randazzo off the line there.
Let's put it in that, like, no man's land, where it's a little bit too far out, but he's got to come out to respect it.
And this is Nicolason. Plays it into the middle. DeSmet going with very small numbers on their jersey tonight, very thin font. Matt Lucas plays it back for Josh Lindell.
That was a very nice job from DeSmet controlling the ball throughout that, sort of poking, prodding, looking, and valuing possession, swinging the ball from side to side.
What a wake-up call there. Tons of space in the middle there for Matt Lucas. You cannot give him that much space in the middle of the field. I think CBC will look to adjust that. It was Edwards who realized it, but a little bit too late. You cannot allow these talented DeSmet players to have that much space in open field.
Yeah, it looked like they were overloading the sides, and then another player ghosting into the middle had to be picked up by Edwards.
Yep. Colton Walsh playing back. Good high press from DeSmet. Back for Randazzo. Takes one touch. He'll give this a... now he plays it out to McAllister. Immediately under pressure. This time better touch from McAllister. Inside for Walsh. Now Edwards. He had Kurt Miller alongside, but he is fouled. I believe that was by Henry Lawler. And CBC will release going the other way. Still Edwards.
DeSmet's really pressuring the back line of CBC, trying to force some mistakes. It looks like they're going to force one here.
From McAllister again. I wonder if they've noticed, you hate to, smelling blood, it's probably too early for that, but they've noticed that McAllister in possession when he's under pressure tends to maybe make a little bit of a mistake. The touch gets a little bit heavy, so I would definitely look for them to be targeting that, which it appears they are. Dispossessed. That was Lucas dispossessed by Tem there. Edwards tries to cut inside, but Kyle Burke does a nice job to keep him from getting rounded. And now Walsh out looking for Benoist. Couldn't find him. But CBC does regain. It's Walsh. Correction, that's not Benoist over. That's Seth Kasich. No. I cannot see. Tim, your eyes are better than mine. I believe Benoist is playing midfield and Kasich's playing left back. Is that correct?
I think that is what I'm seeing, but the yellow numbers on white jerseys.
So we got small, kind of thin font from DeSmet, and we've got yellow on white from CBC. Now, again, in Coach Mickler's defense, those were supposed to be purple. They came in yellow instead of purple, and it is the commentators, it is we who suffer. Now Benoist, trying to cut inside. Good backtracking from Avi Wessa. That's one of your attacking stalwarts doing his job on the other end of the field. So important, especially from your, he's only a junior, but definitely one of the leaders of the squad. He's been in the varsity squad since his freshman year.
Yeah, and he's very strong. You see him out there, and he mixes it up with the big boys. And he uses a lot of his speed and his strength to maintain possession and also win those little battles in the corners.
It is one of the fun things about MCC. Soccer we see, you and I together, Tim, and we talk all the time about it on air and off air. You watch these kids grow up. Obviously, we see CBC kids in the classroom. We see them on the field. We see them in the hallways. We kind of get to know them. But even the DeSmet kids, the SLU kids, these MCC schools that play each other so often, it's a lot of fun to watch a kid like Avi Wessa grow up. Freshman, speedy wide player. Gradually kind of working his way sort of into the game centrally and growing as a leader. You can kind of see that develop. We saw it with John Russo. We've seen it with Blom. We've seen it with, can't find the name. Now that I mention it. Connor Blom, number 21. Yeah. You see it with him. Just some of these guys that have been in the squad. Sam Grass, to use another name that we've seen.
Oh, for a long time.
For a long, long time. It's just a lot of fun. You feel like you get to know these kids. 30 minutes and 22 seconds to go in this first half. We are scoreless. DeSmet in the maroon going right to left. CBC in the white going left to right. Tom Eichwald alongside Tim Halfman-Morris, bringing you Cadet Soccer on the Cadet Student Network. And we mentioned before the game, but we do certainly want to mention throughout that you may have heard us, or you may have seen some of the news on social media. A graduate of CBC class of 2006, Zach Tierney, and his wife have lost their entire home. They've lost everything as a result of the hurricane and flooding in Houston. So we certainly send our thoughts and prayers to Zach. Zach and his wife spent 12 hours on the roof last Sunday hoping for a water rescue. A kayaker eventually saw them. They couldn't call or contact anybody as Avi Wessa's cross goes out of bounds. They tried calling. No, they couldn't get a hold of anybody. Finally, a kayaker rescued them. It was Zach and his wife, along with his wife's grandmother, and an 80-year-old woman that Zach actually swam out to rescue and pull onto the roof. But when it became clear that she was diabetic and needed her medication, he actually went back out into the water for it and then swam back. So certainly Zach living up to all of the ideals that we are inspired by here at CBC. Cross comes in. And it's still bouncing around, not clear. We'll get back to that story in a second. And that is finally cleared by Tem, only as far as number 8, Alex Walters. And DeSmet looking to build here. This is Kyle Burke. Cross comes in over the head of Nick Gruey. But so Zach and his wife, they've lost everything, but we at CBC want to help them. Zach is not only a grad, his brother's a grad. His mom used to run the Little Bit Foundation for CBC's for CBC for years. There's a video from Zach on our Facebook account, CBC-St. Louis, Missouri. You can check that out. But we want to help him, so if you're listening and you're so inclined, there's a GoFundMe account to help Zach and his family rebuild their lives. It is GoFundMe/Tierney Necessities. That's TIERNEY Necessities. And you can help them rebuild. We will also be selling hoodies. There will be a commemorative Brothers for Life hoodie to help support Zach, as we see a foul there from, no foul, physical tackle from Kurt Miller. There will be a hoodie for sale starting on Thursday in school. Leftover hoodies that aren't sold during school will be sold at Thursday evening soccer game, as well as Saturday afternoon soccer game. Thursday evening against SLU, Saturday afternoon against Vianney. So if you want to help Zach, either go to GoFundMe/Tierney Necessities or come out and buy a hoodie, show your support on Thursday or Saturday. We certainly want to show Zach and his family that we are thinking about him and we stand with him here at CBC.
I think this week has really shown just the all-around class of Coach Mickler. He remembers every single player from the freshman level all the way up to the varsity level who has ever played in the CBC program. And it's just been quite remarkable to see how he just instantly spurs the entire community to help out and to action. Looks like the physicality is kind of picking up here.
It is, and I think Zach, if I know Zach, I think he would want us to get back to the soccer as well. He's a big fan, and if you do watch the video on our Facebook page that he shared with us, what does he end it with? Go Cadets.
Go Cadets.
26:51 to go here in this first half. Again, you talk about the physicality. Nate Tem mixing it up over here on the near side, getting called for the foul. It is a Nick Randazzo goal kick at the moment. What have we seen so far? Almost 15 minutes into this game, Tim.
Well, we saw a big early push from DeSmet right off the bat, and then now it's kind of played into this midfield chess match. I would say DeSmet's dominating a lot of the possession, but hasn't found a way through that back line of CBC. Nice job to be staying organized and keeping DeSmet out of that final 20, 25 yards near the goal.
And ball played across, not really to anyone from CBC. And I think as Nicolason goes up for that one. Dealt with well initially by Deweese. Good composure from Nolan. And that's a Kurt Miller brought down legally. Now Avi Wessa. And I think for CBC, they're having a hard time coping with the high pressure of DeSmet. Loose break for Wessa, no. Deweese again, but he gets stepped on in the process. And that is called a foul. But to finish the point, CBC have a hard time. They want to play out of the back. They want to keep the ball on the ground, but DeSmet knows that they are coming into this game. They're doing everything they can to shut down not only the man in possession, but the passing lanes as well. And so far, it's caused some problems for this back line, as you see the pressure there. Puts Walsh under pressure, which creates a little bit sloppier ball, which puts Kurt Miller under pressure. So it's really having an effect, and CBC needs to find a way to deal with that. And I think it's just maybe drawing him. You need some of these leaders in the middle of the field. You need Jack Edwards is the guy I'm eyeing, needs to step up and find the ball. Nick Dempster dropping back, finding the ball. That's an important part of it as well. But you need to start finding those outlets and those passing patterns despite the pressure. Foul called against Benoist, it appears.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was just, I think the ref seeing the physicality pick up and is trying to squash some of the...
Well, he made a nice turn. I think he might have thrown an arm out, though, in the process.
And I think it's just...
He'll claim it was for balance, Tim.
Yes, the referee wants to keep track of the physicality of this game so that later on it doesn't get out of control. As some of these hotly contested matchups, they tend to, near the ending stages of the game. All right, just some of the clarity. This tournament, this is the 40th rendition of the CBC soccer tournament. It is a round-robin style tournament involving Vianney, SLU, CBC, and DeSmet. A win gets you 3 points. A tie gets you 1 point. And then you also get 1 point for every goal scored up to 6 and 1 point for a shutout. So right now, SLU sitting on top with 8 points in their 4-0 win right before this game. But I like this tournament because it really opens it up. You never really know until the very end who's going to come away with the title. CBC has the last won this tournament in 2012. The current champions are Vianney, the 2016 champions. But it looks like we're going to probably have a new champion this year.
So to come back from that one. Dempster chasing it down. Good job that was Logan Payne. Got to say, Logan Payne, you'd like to see him get down and cover that. Anytime you're in a kneeling position with a striker running on, good to see him okay. But generally you want to get down as a mode of self-protection. Brave goalkeeping from Logan Payne. And this one's played off the back. I don't think that was the contact Nolan Deweese intended on that. 23:10 to go in the half. And Randazzo's going to put this on the deck. And the long ball, this is one of the things CBC really has to watch. If they get, if they try to deal with the pressure of DeSmet by just playing the long ball, it is not going to work out well. Edwards pings it wide. This is Benoist. Nice to see Benoist mixing it up over there. That is going to be a goal kick, though.
One of the things I liked about that build-up was it didn't come from Nick Dempster. It came from Jack Edwards behind, which allows Dempster to push up, Reese McKell to push up and be in those dangerous positions. It seems like because Jack Edwards is having to fall back into a defensive position, it's leaving a big gap between him, so that him and Dempster. We'd like to see that tighten up.
Yep. And Dempster is doing a nice job when he recognizes that of dropping back. But, for instance, right now it's kind of behind the camera. There you see Jack Edwards. Nick Dempster isn't even at the half line. And now he's going to lead the line. This gives Edwards space to run into. Edwards to the right side. It's got Tem. Tem has Dempster just inside. Dempster turns. Can't find Edwards. Closed down very quickly and very nicely by Matt Lucas. Now Edwards again rounds his man, but he is fouled by 15 Matt Russo. Edwards takes it quick. This is Kurt Miller. Thinks about the shot, decides better of it, which is the right decision. And now Kasich, Benoist. Benoist, left-footed cross coming in. That is blocked. That appeared to be Jackson Anderson with the block. Now Kasich. He's dispossessed. Creative flick there, but good defending from Nolan DeWeese. That was being chased down by, it appeared, Alex Walters, number 8. And we get a substitution for DeSmet. Coming in is number 16, Michael Donlin. And coming out is number 5, Josh Lindell. Correction, 15. That is Matt Russo. And the Cadet fans reminding the DeSmet players that this is indeed our house. Good showing from both student bodies. I think the students love this tournament too.
Well, it is a chance for these MCC teams to come together and play. Here, a quick turn of events for CBC. See if they can pull a shot off. No, ball bounces around.
That was the right-footed shot from Henry Lawler. Still Lawler. Nice job by DeWeese to get over there and assist. He cuts inside. This is Lawler. Ball breaks to him again. He's going to try to go end line. Well read by DeWeese. And that's finally cleared by Kurt Miller. The Cadets need to be careful here. Ball played for Reese McKell. Tries the flick. Good pressure from Reese to stay with it. Now Nick Dempster surging forward. This is what you want to see from Dempster. Cuts inside. He's got McKell. Oh. McKell's going to get a left-footed shot. Oh, what a tackle. What a tackle. That is an incredible recovery tackle, and I have to say, given Reese McKell's goal-scoring form, that is a goal-saving tackle from somebody with a very, very small number. I'm going to go Jackson Anderson. I think that was the number 3 getting back.
I thought that was actually going to be pushed a little bit too far ahead of McKell, and McKell closed down that space nicely, but allowed the defender the opportunity to get their body in the way.
But we talked about the kind of spine of the team. You need Dempster and Edwards to get into the game. What we saw there was Dempster just surging forward. He was not going to be second to that ball, and that's what created the opportunity, just the pure drive from Nick Dempster. Inside of 20 minutes to go. Ooh. Fall is coming. We're having to turn on the lights in the press box. Catching producer Randy Gardner by surprise. And this is going to go out for DeSmet throw. We're also going to have a substitution. It appears 2 substitutions. Coming into the game for DeSmet is Jack Knott, number 18, and he's going to give Avi Wessa a breather. And for CBC, it will be, looks like Kurt Miller who's going to get a break. And coming into the game, is that Damian Klukas, number 16? We'll try to confirm that for you. Throw comes in. It's a good one. And this is out. Tem's going to need to clear this sideline, and he does. Trying to find McKell. Good step there from Josh Lindell. Michael Donlin for DeSmet. Ball breaks to the right side. That is side netting. Side netting from, I believe, was that Henry Lawler, number 25. Lawler has been a threat for the last few minutes.
Yeah, he's worked really, really hard on everything, not giving up on a single play. And it's that more pressure from DeSmet, that continued press against the back line that's generating opportunities.
It is. And, again, you need to see the central midfield get themselves involved. And correction, the substitution was not Klukas. That was Joe Angelbeck coming in at central midfield for Kurt Miller. And now we've got more changes for CBC. We will try to call these numbers as soon as we can see them. Looks like Geerling in, Henry Etzel in, Julian Bennett in, and Sam Costa in. So Costa will play right back. Angel Beck will play defensive midfield. DeWeese still at center back, Kasich at left back. Ball played in. Gearling playing kind of an attacking midfield right now. Walsh. Correction, Gearling up top. It's Walsh, Angelbeck, and Edwards in the center of midfield. And Etzel's going to lead the line with Bennett on the right side. Here come DeSmet. Looking to counter. This is number 18, Jack Knott. Gets a good cross with the left. Headed clear. That was a nice header from Colton Walsh. Cross is going to come in from Matt Lucas, but that's wide of everybody. We'll go out for a deep CBC throw. Little flurry there. We're going through the substitutions, and DeSmet just very quick to kind of slice through to those wide areas. It's going to be a challenge for them. Can they get from that wide area into a more dangerous position in the center? Costa. Bennett. This is Julian Bennett. He is dispossessed by Kyle Burke. Quite adroitly by Kyle Burke. And Etzel wins it back. Gearling closed down. Gearling goes down, tries to drag his man with him.
He succeeded.
He succeeded. That foul is going to go against DeSmet. And the quick free kick from Edwards.
There's going to be a conversation, though, between that DeSmet player.
Yeah, so that was John Gearling brought down. And he was brought down by, is that Lucas, number 10?
I think it's Lucas, yeah, the captain.
And then Gearling decided that if he was going down, Lucas was coming with him. The foul goes against DeSmet. Edwards plays it in. This is going to be claimed by the goalkeeper. Good, confident catch from Logan Payne. Under pressure, he had 2 or 3 cadets closing him down, and he just went up and very nonchalantly pulled it out of the air. Excellent goalkeeping from Logan Payne. And a good boot. Look at that. And that's a bounce. Instantly puts Angelbeck under pressure. And CBC looking to build out of the back. They're going to go wide. And a throw into DeSmet. 15 minutes here to go in this first half. We are still scoreless here on the Cadet Student Network. Tom Eichwald and Tim Halfman-Morris bringing you Cadet Soccer. And DeSmet's going to work it over to this left-hand side for Burke. Burke's going to dump it in. That was Linkogel, number 6.
I like the change of pace, the substitutes coming in and really working very, very hard. I'm sure they're looking at it that this is an opportunity, and they're in there to work and to put pressure and maybe create an opportunity or two.
And Gearling takes a little bit of a knock in the head. Looked like he clashed heads there. We're probably going to get a stoppage. Yes, we are going to get a stoppage in time while Jackson Anderson and John Gearling are checked out. Clashed heads going for 1. Certainly nothing malicious, just one of those things that happen in soccer. While we have a second, we want to ask you, Cadet fans, are you protected? Call State Farm agent and CBC alum Tim Kylo for all your insurance needs. Tim is more than just the best insurance guy in town. He's also the presenting sponsor of CSN, and we are incredibly grateful for his support. Call Tim at 314-842-4442 or send him an email at tim@timkylo, that's KILO.com. We also mentioned that TJ's Pizza is our kickoff sponsor tonight. Only one kickoff so far in the half. But TJ's Pizza and fundraising is available. TJ's Pizza is available on our concession stands and at home games. But they also have a fundraising option available to you. It's one of the easiest around. They give you a really simple process to help your school, team, or organization raise money by selling delicious pizzas and desserts. You'll want to call TJ's at 314-869-9404 for more information, or check them out at tjspizza.com. Thank you for your support, TJ's Pizza and fundraising.
So here we had a mandatory sub demanded by the referee. DeSmet player number 3, Jackson Anderson, looked a little confused, but this is always just a safety precaution. The referee saw the heads clash. Yeah, it looked like Gearling got the worst of it, but according to the protocol now, they both have to be looked at on the sidelines, and if he's going to stop play for both of them, they both have to come out.
And Gearling is currently being checked over by the CBC trainer, Kristen Jeans of Mercy Healthcare. And we assume that she will be on her way over to check out Jackson momentarily.
And so Dempster came back into the game for Gearling.
Edwards looking for Etzel in the channel. You see the speed of Henry Etzel. He's going to get a right foot on it, and that is high. That ball was bouncing under pressure. That is so difficult to keep down. They give you 3 in football for that, but none in soccer. And that is a missed opportunity for Henry Etzel. He's going to beat himself up for missing that. But you got to say, that's an impressive effort just to get on that ball.
He was at least 3 yards behind the defender, caught up, made the ground. But it's so hard when you're running that fast to keep control of the ball and get over it.
And he also got through a guy who's got about 3 inches on him. And that's a foul going against CBC. The old nudge in the back on a head ball trick. Not really a trick.
I always like the just stay still and let the person come into you.
Yep.
But oh, is it dangerous?
Yes, it is. Randazzo coming out. Looked like he got that.
I think he did, and
I don't think it was quite the contact he was looking for on that.
Well, he did a nice job avoiding the contact with the defender, with the DeSmet player.
Yep. And most important thing, the ball was out of play. He's safely back in his goal. So brave goalkeeping from Randazzo. We've seen solid goalkeeping at both ends tonight. Here is Burke's throw. And that is headed clear initially. Etzel doing his part back there. Geerling trying to get on it, but it's dumped back in. Randazzo will claim this. Oof. And that was dumped back in by, looked like Matt Young, number 7 for DeSmet. Dazzo's going to look for a quick one, and couldn't find Etzel on the outlet. Headed clear by DeSmet, though, so it'll be a CBC throw farther up the field. 12 minutes and 10 seconds here to go in this first half, and here we have the trainers making our way over to see Jackson Anderson, make sure he is okay. And again, the concussion protocols in place. Walsh. Dumped in. This is Etzel chasing it down. Good slide tackle there. Again, you got to love early season broadcasting, Tim. Oh. All the numbers, still learning them. You look down at the roster to see who somebody is, and by the time you look up, the moment's passed. And throw comes in. Flicked on. No cadet can get a foot on that, but it's still in danger. Julian Bennett tries to head it back in. Edwards is going to end up with this one. And he's going to recycle smartly through Kasich. And now this is, I believe, Benoist. And that's out of bounds for DeSmet throw.
Yeah.
Tried to use a little too much of the field to get away from his man there.
Looks like we're going to have a double sub for DeSmet.
Yep. Eric Nicolason and Jackson Anderson
coming back into the game.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like Linkogel's coming off, Sean Linkogel, as well as Matt Lucas. Good shift from Matt Lucas. He's been very, very involved in the offensive end, and he's been doing his job on the back end, too. So a really complete midfielder, it appears, in Matt Lucas. Like what I've seen.
Ooh, ball steps here.
Ball breaks. Ooh. That is off the crossbar. And that was that Walsh? Is that Colton Walsh who hit that, I believe?
I think so.
Number 6. Dempster was over there, too. Kind of a little half chance. Ball just fell to him. I mean, Lang was certainly helpless, or Payne, rather, was helpless if that was on target. 10 minutes to go in the half. Julian Bennett trying to take it away. Nice job of recycling there by Jack Knott, though. And now Dempster. He's got Edwards holding back inside. He's got Etzel going. He's got Bennett overlapping. He's going to try to play it across to Benoist.
That was played out. Nice recovery defense from DeSmet to stop the fast break.
It was. One of the things you tend to see in the MCC is very disciplined teams.
Yeah.
You see teams where everybody knows their job, and you can see on DeSmet, they're very clear about who's shutting down what lanes. And so far, they have not allowed CBC a whole lot of continuous possession in dangerous areas. I mean, you got to say, until the last 3-4 minutes, the bulk of the possession and probably the bulk of the attacking possession and the bulk of the chances have gone DeSmet's way.
Yeah.
CBC starting to turn the tables a little bit.
But again, there hasn't been that many chances that have actually reached Randazzo directly.
No, and I think Deweese has done a smart job of covering for his teammates, whether it's Costa or McAllister on this side as well as Kasich on that other side. He reads the game very well, and he's very quick to support.
I've only recorded one save, and it was Deweese taking the shot right in the stomach.
Right in the stomach. And that's flicked high. That was Costa. Ball breaks. We're going to get a shot here. Save. Rebound. Another save. Another save. Wow. Nick Randazzo with a triple save. And he took a knock there. Incredible goalkeeping from Nick Randazzo. Shots were coming in from Michael Donlin as well as Carson King. He makes the initial save, gives up a little bit of a generous rebound if you're being harsh, makes the rebound save, and then gobbles it up before King could get a foot on it. That is incredibly quick goalkeeping. And Kevin Whalen is sitting very proudly. He's got a little extra sort of uprightness in his posture at the moment. And is the goalkeeping coach for CBC.
That was a deceptive shot because it looked like it dipped right before it reached him, and so that got pushed into the ground.
That's why it got pushed in the ground, because his hands are coming down to it. And when you try to attack the ball, which is what you're taught as a goalkeeper, always attack the ball with your hands. When the ball is dipping, that attack can either go, kind of go under you. Actually, he did a nice job to get enough on it to get it going forward, and then he's up very, very quickly. You train hard at getting up very quickly after the initial save. Usually training sequences are 2-3 saves at a time, and that's why. Textbook from Randazzo. The most exciting moment of the half, I think, so far, no matter what color you're wearing tonight. 7.5 to go. We are still scoreless. Courtesy to the woodwork and the DeSmet goal, as well as Nick Randazzo on the CBC end. Now Edwards. Dribbling into space. Very dangerous in this situation if he can find the right pass. Etzel comes inside. Edwards is going to go wide. He's going to take it end line, cut it back, and he goes down. He is okay.
I think he just hit the brakes, but
he did.
His top half couldn't keep up.
There's a long way between his top half and his bottom half.
He is a tall, tall gentleman.
And somehow the signals got crossed in transit. Might have been some traffic on the way down. You never know.
Oh, see, there's a mistake there. This is what's generating the opportunities for DeSmet.
And this is Nicolason doing a nice job over here on this left-hand side, dispossessed expertly by DeWeese. Again, we talked about DeWeese covering for his wingbacks. He's able to get the ball while Costa drops inside. Nice job by Nolan DeWeese. Ball poked long. This is Etzel. 6.5 to go. Etzel loses it. Here come DeSmet. Carson King trying to turn Angel back.
Yeah.
And he gets pulled down. So this will be another attacking free kick for DeSmet. Nicolason's taken a few, but mostly over here on the right-hand side. I would think maybe you get somebody with the left foot over there.
No matter how Angelbeck complains about it, they're going to call that 9 times out of 10. Leaning that far back into somebody, if the arms get around, that's an easy call.
It is. So clock ticks below 6, and it will be Nicolason's ball. Kyle Burke was over there as well as the left-footed option, but he's going to leave it for Nicolason. 3-man wall, probably 4. Dempster's going to get in there for good measure. He's going to go on that near post side. Here's Nicolason. He's going to chip it far post. Header comes in just wide. Good ball and a good header from Matt Young. If you're being critical of CBC defense, say that was a pretty easy header. He was able to get ball side of his man, and there was not a whole lot of pressure there. Just a little bit missed contact from Matt Young.
Yeah.
He will expect to do better from there, I think.
I think that was Sam Benoist out there on that play, trying to come back and play defense, and he just got turned around and then couldn't find the ball.
And we have to say Matt Young, a little bit bigger player than Benoist.
Yes.
Now Walsh. Etzel. Henry Etzel cutting inside. Still going. Dempster. He's got Julian Bennett. Now in a wide position. Bennett's going to cut in on his left. Nobody really checking to him fast enough. He's got to go back to Edwards. Costa. Jack Edwards again. He's going to use Angelbeck. The Cadets in no rush. They want to establish good rhythm with the ball. I like what I'm seeing from CBC. They're moving backward, but they're starting to draw DeSmet out. They're starting to create some spaces. Now it's just about composure and taking advantage. Costa. This is Angelbeck. Angelbeck for Bennett. Bennett's going to cut back onto his left foot. He's got Dempster right there. Decides to find Nick Dempster in the middle. Dempster with the left-footed shot. That is blocked. Good block there. The Cadets can't regain. And good defense there from DeSmet. Kasich's going to not leave it for Randazzo. They need to get this out of here. Ooh. Composure from DeWeese. Whew. That had panic written all over it. A little bit of a miscommunication between Kasich and Randazzo, but DeWeese again able to deal with it very adeptly. Inside of 4 minutes. Etzel in the middle. Edwards. Now Angelbeck. I'd like to see him keep it simple. Here it is. Costa. He's going to have Bennett wide. Bennett's going to look to cut it back into the middle somewhere. He chooses Edwards. The more forward option would have been Dempster. But now Angel back. Back for Kasich.
This is much more disciplined play, possession-minded, really drawing DeSmet out, trying to create that opportunity.
Yeah, Bennett trying the nutmeg, but it wasn't on there. It's Avi Wessa now. 3 minutes, 14 seconds to go.
Costa there just trying to get the ball out of bounds to stop Avi Wessa from turning on the Jets.
Do what you must. We talked very early, Tim, about the aggression with which DeSmet was pressing, forechecking again for hockey-minded fans. I think some of the intensity, understandably, has kind of left after the first 15 minutes. You can't keep that kind of press up for 80 minutes. But what we're seeing now is a much more disciplined, cohesive press from DeSmet. This is a more sustainable press. It's still effective, but you notice they're doing a wonderful job of pressing as a team. I really like the organization I'm seeing from this DeSmet squad. If CBC scores, it is going to come, I think, from transition. They're doing such a good job of shutting down passing lanes that CBC is going to have to catch them a little bit out of position and just really punish them ruthlessly at the back, because that's the only way right now that I see CBC scoring in this game.
Well, CBC has now stepped into being able to control that midfield.
And Randazzo under pressure.
Oh, looks like a little bit of a bounce for CBC.
That was Walsh. And now CBC breaking in left-hand side of the box. Excellent defending there. Again, from a player whose number is all but invisible. We're going to say Anderson. That might have been 3. And now at the other end. This is Gruey. Gruey for Wessa. Wessa runs into Deweese. It's a goal kick. It's wide. 1:30 to go. Can CBC launch one more up there and take their chances? The wind has died down, so Randazzo is not kicking into quite as stiff a breeze as he would have about 30 minutes ago. He's taking his time. He's going to kick this with probably about 1:10 to go on the clock, if I had to guess.
He's trying to take enough time off the clock so that DeSmet can have a good push and then not have a possible counterattack.
Right. Without ending up in the referee's notebook for time wasting.
Yeah.
Inside of a minute now. CBC throw. Numbers are going to come forward for the Cadets. Not crazy numbers, but you definitely see the formation a little bit more advanced for the Cadets. And this is dangerous in that case when DeSmet breaks. But good job by Angelback of recycling possession. 40 seconds to go. CBC will look to dump one in, see if he can get one shot. And this is going to be thrown in under 30 seconds to go. And 28 to be exact. Ball comes in. Headed up. Dempster trying to get on the end of it. Back over his own head. Etzel trying the overhead volley, and that is his second. Actually, I think that was wide. I was about to say his second field goal of the evening. But this one is going to take the clock. I can't imagine Logan Payne kicking this one with more than a couple seconds to go. This is going to end the half. Actually, they're going to get, looks like Etzel on a foul. This is not a goal kick.
Okay, but it's
so
just
he's not even going to kick this.
Down here.
So that's going to do it. First half, scoreless between CBC and DeSmet. You are watching the Cadet Student Network. We're going to take a quick break here in the booth. When we get back, we'll wrap up the first half, get you all set for second half action on CSN.
Coffee, the junior tailback. Also checking in for the first time, I see Ray Lingard, the sophomore, is in the game. We mentioned Colton Smith.
Let me help you protect what matters most and prepare for your retirement. I want to help everyone in the CBC family save money and stay protected. I've been in the business for 25 years. My team and I are ready to help you protect your family and save money. You can contact me at 314-842-4442. My email address is tim@timkylo.com, or my website is timkylo.com. Enjoy the rest of the game. Let me help you protect what matters most and prepare for your retirement. I want to help everyone in the CBC family save money and stay protected. I've been in the business for 25 years. My team and I are ready to help you protect your family and save money. You can contact me at 314-842-4442. My email address is tim@timkylo.com, or my website is timkylo.com. Enjoy the rest of the game.
That's not me. That's me. Still goes on. Weird.
surface. I think we're ready to roll whenever you want. And welcome back to the Tim Kylo broadcast booth. Just sharing some notes on the finer points of messing with dials just to see Randy Gardner freak out as we reach over
Dials and
on the
buttons.
box. If you've ever wondered what happens behind the scenes in the booth, it is basically just us pretending to push buttons just to see how it's reacted to.
This is why I get put on the outside, so I can't reach the dials and buttons.
Although let the record show it did fix it. Now, not that the people don't want more of this, but I think the people want to hear about the game, Tim. We have a scoreless game at halftime. Being hopefully enjoyed by, I think, fans of both teams will find something to enjoy. Let's start with DeSmet. I think we've seen a very disciplined performance from a talented DeSmet team.
It's been really incredible to see the high pressure, and then when CBC gets a chance offensively, you have 9-10 players in the defensive zone for DeSmet, and then quickly breaking out of it at full speed to add pressure. That's the kind of organization that we come to expect in the MCC.
And I think CBC has struggled to get into this game. I think that's probably the best way I can say it. Right at the end of the half, though, I thought we saw some encouraging attacking play. Henry Etzel very involved. He's going to start the second half, it looks like, as a reward for what the shift he put in. But I think the biggest thing I saw is that CBC was starting to control themselves in possession. They were starting to come back and move the ball back, which was drawing the DeSmet press, opening up some spaces. So they're looking to draw a few players up the field. DeSmet will chase them into their own half, probably about to the 35-yard line or so on the other half. So if they can bring a few of these DeSmet forwards and midfielders up, that opens up space in behind for the likes of Dempster, for the likes of Edwards. So I would look to see CBC try to establish some early possession and see if they can start using that passing to draw what will probably be a tiring DeSmet team, because the way they defended, the discipline they had of getting back and getting forward, that is so hard to sustain even though it's not that hot an evening. So I think for CBC I would be very interested to see how they start in possession.
And we're off.
We are. DeSmet in the maroon going left to right across the screen. CBC in the white going right to left. Tom Eichwald alongside Tim Halfman-Morris. We just saw the TJ's Pizza kickoff, and we are here in the Tim Kylo broadcast booth. It is the CBC tournament. Again, if you're just joining us, the first game of the tournament was earlier this evening at 5 o'clock kickoff. It was St. Louis U-High beating Vianney 4-0, so they take a commanding lead in the tournament. As this result stands, both teams would get 2 points. They would be 1 point for a shutout and 1 point for a tie. So as it stands, it would be SLU 8, CBC 2, DeSmet 2, if this result holds. But I would have a hard time seeing this result holding at 0-0 based on the intensity we saw in the first half. Maybe just my opinion. But
Ooh, a dangerous ball here.
Yep, that was a nice job by Logan Payne to get up and clear his line. And this one's going to go DeSmet's way. We do want to certainly send a greeting all the way to the West Coast to Mr. Tom Albies, watching us, a teacher at CBC, decided, he got married this summer, and he and his wife are now in Seattle, where he's teaching English just as well as he did here. So we certainly miss you, Tom. We're glad you're watching, and all the best to you guys.
Ooh, a dangerous bouncing ball. Avi West says
he can't get on the end of it.
Tried to get on the end of it.
He was escorted out of bounds by,
I think that's Benoist.
I believe it is. Nope. That is number 12. That is Tyler Herberholt. So it's Herberholt over here on the left wing. And
Seth Kasich.
Seth Kasich behind him.
Kasich.
Goal kick from Randazzo. CBC in the white going right to left. DeSmet in the maroon going left to right. Again, a scoreless first half. So far, a scoreless second. Ball played back to Payne. He's going to give this a ride. Always dangerous to kick a ball that's rolling at you as a goalkeeper, but on these nice smooth surfaces, you can usually get away with it. It's the old clumpy dirt pitches you got to worry about. Ball can go right over your foot. And this is what I want to see from CBC. I want to see him possess. I want to see Deweese find somebody wide. I want to see Edwards drop back and receive this middle, although he got forced wide. That's just a result of the pressing from DeSmet that we talked about.
Oof.
Edwards gets clattered into. Advantage call. Good refereeing. Herberholt on the near side. He's going to go with the left. He's going to cross it in low, and Etzel did not go for that. I'm not sure if he didn't think he could get there or if he thought somebody else was going to go for that. He might have thought that Bennett was going to get there. I'm a little confused.
I think it was a little bit of a trying to ghost to trick the goalkeeper, but Logan Payne has been too solid all day to be tricked by a simple pass run through.
And it's hard to tell from this angle, but I think if Etzel can get a foot on it, he's got to throw everything he's got at it. This is CBC DeSmet. And Randazzo's going to get a goal kick here. So there is no more breeze, really. I mean, there's a little nice breeze blowing up here in the press box, but no wind to speak of on the field. We talked early about how the wind was blowing right to left. It has stopped and settled into a nice early fall evening. Here's Deweese. Back to Randazzo. I'm not sure Randazzo was ready for that. Randazzo rounds one. He just needs to get this away. Kick it as far as you can, Nick Randazzo. He takes one more touch. And, again, it gets out of pressure, but that's not how they teach you. You got to give him credit for reacting to that.
Confidence.
He was expecting Deweese to play the ball over here to the near side to Kasich, and instead Deweese played it back outside left where he thought Randazzo would be. That appeared to be a handball by Avi Wessa, but no, says the official. Tough angle for the official to see that from. Herberholt beats him. Beats him again. Doesn't beat him a third time. Wessa does a nice job regaining possession. That's one of his talents. He's going to get a right-footed cross in. Randazzo near post. And Randazzo needs to settle down, let his team get forward. He's a little bit upset that there was nobody ready to spring on the counter, but you had too many men back. You need to reset. And we talked kind of...
I think they're calling it. It was out of play.
Yeah.
From Avi Wessa.
Yeah. And now Angelbeck starting the second half. Now Bennett. They appear to be starting the half the way they finished the first half.
Bennett has been sort of guilty of maybe trying to go into some defenders. Ooh.
Wessa intercepts. Again, that was pressure on the ball. Angelbeck was pressed by Larson. Larson with the right-footed cross. Cleared by Deweese. Little help from Angelbeck. Herberholt tries to flick on and can't. Nice job by Larson to regain possession, and again, it's that press from DeSmet. Wessa can't get on as Kasich heads clear. Kasich again. Dempster trying to get back. Feisty as always. He wins it. Now Herberholt's going to get closed down. He plays a switch to Julian Bennett. Bennett needs to take on his man here. He's going to find Edwards inside, slows it down a little bit. Edwards, good physicality from Jack Edwards to maintain possession there. That's going to be played out by DeSmet, and it will be a throw into CBC. And now Bennett. He's got help from, I believe that's Costa over there on the right-hand side. Now Walsh. Back for, this is Kasich again. And Seth Kasich with the diagonal. And bounce around, and can DeSmet counter. Good touch from Gruey there. It's 1-on-4. Gruey beats Deweese, gets a shot away. It is wide, and it will be a corner kick. It looked like Deweese got a foot on it. It is wide of Nick Randazzo's goal. And so it will be a corner. Notice that Randazzo thought it was a goal kick. He also declined the opportunity to play the ball that's right next to his net out to the corner for a quick corner. Smart goalkeeping from Randazzo. Let the ball boy do his job as your team gets back.
He's got a lot to do in organizing that defense.
He's got some work to do, yes.
So,
and we have seen DeSmet whip in a few good crosses here.
Looks like DeSmet's going to pack in.
They're going to surround Randazzo.
Yeah.
Not the tallest guy in the world. They're going to try to put their biggest bodies on him, try to screen him. And this will be a right-footed in-swinger. Near post. Hits somebody. Ball played in again. Now Edwards has room to carry. He needs to use it. Here he is.
There's a nice.
Yes, it is. This is Herberholt. Oh, he can't get on the end of that. Excellent sliding challenge from Anderson.
Falls to Jack Edwards, who just immediately establishes control for CBC.
Yep. And they're in behind the DeSmet midfield here. Can they get in behind the defense? Bennett plays it around, cannot get on the end of that. Now, I want to amend something I said earlier, Tim. I said the only way that I see CBC scoring in this game is on the counter. I think we're starting to see CBC find their feet in possession, which is encouraging if you're a Cadet fan. I would not be surprised. Again, what they're trying to do, they're trying to get in behind. First, you got to get in behind the DeSmet midfield. In the first 30 minutes of this game, they were failing to do that. They could not get in behind the midfield of DeSmet. Now they're getting in behind the midfield in possession because they're drawing them out. The next step, get in behind this defense. You haven't had a whole lot of opportunities, save on maybe some long balls with Etzel. But that is the next step. So if CBC can continue to use this width and speed in possession and not only bypass the midfield but also bypass the defense, I think that is probably the best bet. So it could come out of possession now. So I'm not still holding the counter-only theory. That's for all those keeping track at home. I know Albies is waiting to get me on that.
One of the things that I've noticed is that the best possession has come from Jack Edwards.
It has.
Right, he's been doing a really good job. Once he establishes himself inside that midfield position, he's distributing the ball very cleanly and in dangerous places, creating chances and opportunities. Oof.
Again, the physicality coming.
It looks like we're going to have a discussion here.
Yep.
I think the ball is going to come back.
And Edwards in the official.
I think
coming to an
I
understanding.
think Edwards is saying, you know, hey, that's a little unnecessary, but the official saying, I've seen it, I've got it.
Yep. No card, no booking, just I'm on you. Ball played long. Dempster can't get on the end of it. Thinks Anderson went up over the back. Now Wessa looking down the right channel. This is Nicolason. Nicolason brings down, or attempts to bring down, DeWeese. And that's going to be a throw. He throws the ball away.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be a foul.
It is a foul. Okay, he did look like he grabbed a little bit of
yeah, tripped up.
the shoulder of
DeWeese had position, and he got tripped up a bit there.
Yep.
Oh.
That's out of bounds. I was going to say that's the most nonchalant settle I've ever seen. And 10 minutes gone here in this second half. Still scoreless. You're watching the Cadet Student Network. CBC DeSmet. These two teams playing their first game of the CBC tournament. The 40th playing of what has become a staple of MCC soccer. Great chance to, as we said, see your opposition. These two teams will see each other plenty this year. Not only in conference play, but in tournaments. And, again, being paired in the same district for years and years and years, certainly a great rivalry being built. Still being built. It's already a great rivalry. And we got a stoppage
here.
Is he going to go to the book?
It looks like he's going in for the yellow.
That is a yellow on Larson. So he will have to exit the game. I think that's just persistent infringement.
It looks like I think it's Nick Grew.
Oh, was it Grew?
Yeah, 23.
Okay, 23. I think you could call it persistent infringement. You could also call it just somebody needs to get one to be made an example of.
Yeah, it's just he's been very, very physical all day, and I think a couple of very hard fouls that have been a little bit late.
Yep. But I think that's as much a warning to CBC as it is to DeSmet that we're going to start carding a lot of these fouls.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's the last. You hope it's the last card. We'll see, but you don't know that it will be. Here's DeSmet on the break. Shot from distance. That is off the football crossbar. That is out of play. That was a rip from, I believe, Carson King, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's a 17.
There's that pressure, that high pressure creating an opportunity. It looks like we're going to get a DeSmet sub, number 6, Sean Linkogel. Coming in. Ooh, that is a little over the back.
Yep.
DeSmet, I think, feeling a little bit frustrated.
Yep.
About where the ball has been bouncing. CBC hasn't really necessarily done much on attacking. They have not yet to record a clean shot on goal.
That could change here. Falls to Etzel. Can't get on the other side of his man. And it is cleared by DeSmet. It will be a throw-in in a good area for CBC. And substitution coming on for CBC. That appears to be John Geerling coming on for Joe Angelbeck.
Looks like we're going to be switching. Angelbeck is going out. Looks like Colton Walsh is going to step back into that, and Geerling's going to push forward.
Right. And
Glad to see that he was okay after the little knock he took in the first half.
And Edwards appears to be taking a more advanced role as well. So I think this is a move that provides a little bit of cover, and it allows Edwards to really get forward. Header straight up in the air. This has to be Logan Payne's. Etzel beats him to it, and that is cleared out by DeSmet. It will be a throw-in corner kick.
Nope, throw-in signals the official.
Throw-in, okay.
That was a nice job by Etzel, just trying to put it back into the mix.
It was.
Right, getting there first.
I
think Logan Payne was a little bit surprised that stayed in bounds.
He was, but at the same time, your goalkeeper needs to get that ball.
Looks like Reese McKell's coming back in.
It's a header from a player who isn't the tallest guy in the world inside your 6-yard box. A ball that hangs up in the air, you have to get that.
Oh.
Yep. Now Reese McKell.
Shanks that one.
He has scored 5 goals in 5 games, so I think he'll be able to forget that moment. Kasich, all the way across. This is now Costa. Costa over the top. Gathered by Payne. 26:15 to go here in this second half. And that one's being battled for in the midfield. Again, physical play in the center of the field, but you'd expect nothing different. We've told you about TJ's. We've told you about Mr. Tim Kylo, so many of our good sponsors here. We want to say thank you to 2 more. Mercy Healthcare. They're a top-tier Catholic health system nationally. They offer the highest quality health care for students and families. Our own trainer, Kristen Jeans, is a Mercy Care provider. That ball's played back to Randazzo. And Randazzo will take his time. So to learn more about Mercy Healthcare, you want to visit mercy.net. Also, one of our newest sponsors, Vito's. Perhaps our newest sponsor, in fact. We'll get back to Vito's in a second, but here's Julian Bennett.
Ooh, that's a heavy touch.
That is out of bounds. Yeah, he was looking for Dempster. But Vito's Restaurant, you might know them in Midtown, right next to St. Louis University. But did you know they now have a second location in Chesterfield Valley? Tim, did you know that?
I did not know that.
They do. Right in Chesterfield Valley. You can stop in at either location for incredible pizza, some of the best Italian food around. Thank you, Vito's, for your sponsorship.
Looks like we had a plethora of subs for CBC.
And ball still bouncing around. Now Edwards. Game getting a little bit more frantic. Now Geerling. Stumbles. Regains, and he loses out. Trying to get back on it.
That's going to be a...
That is. Geerling goes down awkwardly. He is okay. I think he went down lunging, trying to bring down... Was that Matt Russo, 15, I believe?
Some fans here wanting a card, but I think it was his first infraction.
Well, if you go back to the first half, remember there was a foul. Yeah. He got brought down and helped Larson, I believe.
But that was a foul against Larson.
It was a foul against him. But, you kind of, you sort of mark down that you got a physical player there. And there's a foul going against CBC. Are we going to get a stoppage here?
Yeah,
we do.
We're going to get a stoppage here.
And we are going to get a booking.
See who this is against.
Yellow card to Jack Edwards. He's already been talked to, so you can kind of understand that one. It appeared that the official already did say something to him.
So it's going to be a quick sub here.
Yep. Maybe Nate Tem.
Nate Tem coming in. I don't know how long Edwards is going to stay on that bench. Maybe just cool himself down.
He'll probably stay off for 3, 4, 5 minutes. I think he's a key player, so you want him back on. But that's, we always say you can judge what a coach thinks about the yellow card in high school by how long the player's off. That's one that's understandable. It's a few fouls. Coach Mickler's going to have no problems with that booking, I don't think.
So here, lefty in-swinger, played on the ground.
Avi Wessa, far post, goal! DeSmet scores! A free kick played on the ground from Kyle Burke. Number 24 found Avi Wessa going to the back post. That is actually, it was going near post, flicked the shot back post. That's the soccer equivalent of a changeup.
That's one of those, it's a very tricky set play that DeSmet had set up and knew that they were going to do from the beginning, where CBC was set up for the ball in the air and sort of unexpected, was caught unawares by the quick low pass to Aviwesa, who took off immediately to that spot. And it just sort of squeezed through the legs of the CBC defender. So here we are, DeSmet up 1-0 against the CBC Cadets.
You know, I know that, yes, I can see the scoreboard, but I think this might be a good thing, if anything, for CBC. I think in a game where you really need some intensity, I think, you know, the goal can serve as a little bit of a shot in the arm, and I think when you've struggled to find consistency, when you've kind of been second to a lot of balls recently, it can be a good thing. It can really inspire a lot. It can get your players fired up. It can get more runs going forward. It can get, Nate Temp doing everything he can to get on the end of this ball, putting in a challenge he might not have put in a few minutes ago. So it could be a good thing. It's just up to how CBC handles this. And for the record, Jack Edwards still not on the field.
I think that's a message from Coach Mickler about the quality of that foul. I didn't think there was the necessity to foul in that position.
No.
But here DeSmet is
all kinds of space. Hunter DeGrand shuts that down. DeGrand again. Looking with the left foot. He was trying to find Reese McKell, who is the man you want to find here. Again, he is the goal scorer so far this season. And CBC sure could use him. Throw in taken short from Seth Kasich. Foul going against Reese McKell.
Hey, he got caught flat-footed there.
He did. It's the old goal scorer's defense. So many times you see it, a player forward, loses out and just kind of wants to reach out. And now DeSmet, still pressing on the outside of the area. I think CBC will need to get Jack Edwards back in. There's some confusion in front of the back three.
We're going to get
another card. Oh, no, that's a card for Aviwesa. So Aviwesa now finds his way in the book. So he is on a yellow. Larson is on a yellow. And Edwards as well for CBC. So I think Wesa a little bit befuddled by that one. 21:50 to go in this one when Randazzo puts it back into play.
And I don't know what the official is upset about something. He's going over to the CBC bench.
Who's he talking to? He's talking to Wales, I think. He's saying something to Kevin Whalen, who's going to go over and say something to the other coaches. I have no idea what that is. Unless it's just a general warning to both benches that everybody needs to get themselves under control. That's the only thing I can think of. Now here's DeGrand at the other end.
Ooh.
Hunter DeGrand. Loses out, trying to win it back. Good job by Hunter to get himself back in position. Throw goes to Smet's way, but Hunter positioned his feet.
I'd like to see Hunter use his left foot on that possession and not sticking the ball out there with his right.
Colton Walsh somehow finds Reese McKell off the hand.
Oh,
unlucky, but
it looks like we're going to see some discussion here.
Yep. It appeared Reese McKell will say he was getting his feet, and in so doing, he ended up kind of on the heel of, is that Matt Russo? Yes, it was. And DeSmet looking to penetrate down this right side. Ball played out by, is that Nate Burke over there maybe? Or no, it's DeGrand. Still no sign of Edwards coming back into this game for CBC. Henry Lawler getting a well-deserved break. He's put in a good shift tonight. Hasn't been quite as involved in the last, in the second half as he was in the first. Throw coming in. This will be Burke. Burke's throw is a good one. Headed clear by Walsh. CBC looking to gain it on the break. Not a foul from Jake Weiss, number 19, I believe.
Physicality stepping up.
Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised to see some of these, these players stay in for another 5 minutes or so. But I think with about 15 minutes to go, we will see the starting lineup, or what Coach Mickler thinks is his best 11, out there. I've got to imagine that's a move he's made in the past. Rest kind of people in the first half, kind of in the first half of the second half, and then get everybody back in. And there you see some of the starters making their way back over to Coach Mickler to get their instructions. So I think in a couple minutes they're going to take a warm-up jog, and we will see them back in, and we'll see them in for the duration. Get fresh legs back out there to finish this one out, see if you can generate some intensity. And again, it's not win or go home, but you certainly do not want to lose a game here in the CBC tournament, especially with SLU off to a running start. Carson King trying to play it in. That is cleared out. There'll be a corner kick to DeSmet, and CBC will be looking to make the changes. 19 minutes to go, they make their way over. This corner will be taken quickly, and DeSmet in possession. Randazzo bobbles. He was screened. He did not see that ball until very late. He is trying to get CBC up in a hurry. Long kick, trying to find McKell. Oh! And that will probably result in a booking. It will. And there's that appeared to be a bit of a wave off to the referee. That's, you can get yourself back in. That is Larson, and a correction I said, I believe earlier, I said he had already been booked. That is not the case. If that were the case, he'd obviously be sent off. Good to see everybody okay. That was just pure frustration. And I'd be surprised if Coach Klein sent him right back out there. Especially, the foul is one thing, but it's the wave off of the official. You need to give him a break to get his head. He's too good a player to see like that. This ball's coming in. Payne, confident handling. He's got a good soft pair of hands on him. That's a couple times tonight he's come out under some degree of pressure and made a very, very comfortable catch.
That's one of those that just coasted a little bit too far.
Yep. Didn't dip.
Well, you like to see a CBC player be able to get a head on it. It's just too high and too quick.
Mm-hmm. Just running away from you. 18 minutes and 9 seconds to go here in this game. We are 1-0 in favor of the visiting Spartans. As things stand, DeSmet would go to second in the CBC tournament. SLU with 8 points. DeSmet would get 1 for the goal, 3 for the win, and then 1 for the shutout, so it'd be 8-5 in favor of SLU, DeSmet second, and then CBC and Vianney tied with 0. That's if it stands. A goal for CBC would be huge because instead of being 5 points out of second, you would be tied in second with 2 points. So a lot on the line for CBC, even if you can't win the game, just to get an equalizer, as we see a foul on Geerling. And now I think Geerling's got to watch himself, too, because that's a couple he's put in. Although I think Geerling may be coming out here in a few minutes as the starting midfield comes back up.
That was more of a feet got tangled. I don't think there's anything malicious there.
I don't think so either, but you never know when you start make a few of those.
We have had 5 cards tonight, or 4. 3 on DeSmet, 1 on CBC. 4 cards.
And this is Geerling trying to chase this one down. He'll press. But DeSmet plays out of the pressure very nicely. Bennett taken down. Now CBC trying to surge. This is Walsh. Geerling. Walsh again. Good give and go.
There.
Walsh is able to get on the end of it. Oh, that is a lot of contact. That is an awful lot of contact, but shoulder to shoulder, says the official. And no harm, no foul.
That's a very solid defensive play. Being strong, standing up.
I think.
Not necessarily looking for the contact, but not shying away from it either.
No, and I think that's probably the correct read on it. Ball cleared by DeSmet. And headed back by Kasich. And he appeared to be fouled. Randazzo's going to put this back in play. Kasich under duress did a nice job of getting that one back to Randazzo. only just. It didn't have a whole lot on it by the time it got there. Dazzles ball forward inside of 16 minutes to go now. Walsh in the midfield. Finds Julian Bennett. Walsh again. Colton Walsh, little too much on that one for Hunter DeGrand to get on the end of, but it did come off at a DeSmet head. That will be a corner kick. Walsh starting to grow into this game.
Like
he's starting to find a lot of space at the base of this midfield three, and he is really starting to assert himself. And as Jack Edwards comes back out, a Colton Walsh that's surging alongside a Jack Edwards that's just pure class through and through. This could be a good opportunity for CBC. 15:20 to go. Nate Tem will take this with the right foot. Differing approaches on corner kicks. CBC's going to run in. DeSmet just packed the inside. And this is played out for Reese McKell. It's the guy you want. Reese McKell with the right foot. What a save by Logan Payne. That was a snapshot from McKell that was bound for the inside of Payne's left-hand post. He goes flying across to get it and does a nice job. Another corner kick, though. 14:50 to go. This is going to be an in-swinger from the left. Ball played in. Headed clear by DeSmet, only as far as McKell. McKell can't get on the end of it. Nate Miller wins it back. And nice job by Kasich to regain possession and McAllister to find an outlet. Ball played in. Is that Deweese going up there? That's your center back dancing around on the ball. Ball played inside. CBC surging. Jack Edwards, another save from Payne. That was Edwards with the rip. So Edwards denied. McKell denied. Logan Payne has kept this lead. He has single-handedly kept this lead with two stellar saves. Another left-footed cross coming in off the corner. This one a little bit farther out. It's going to bounce out to McKell. Wonder what he's thinking. He's going to dump it back in. Back post, he's got Dempster. Dempster fires wide. The ball did not settle for Dempster. I believe he was offside anyway. It appears we got an offside call. But that ball fell nicely to Dempster. He just couldn't quite. It came off the shin as it was dropping.
Yeah,
Wouldn't have counted, but just.
Looks like it was an offside call. They're adjusting where the keeper's going to take it.
But DeSmet having a hard time clearing their lines, and CBC getting a couple chances off of it. And Logan Payne, somebody buy him a cheeseburger in the cafeteria tomorrow. That was quite a run of play here. Around here, I believe the currency is cookies.
Cookies.
Cafeteria cookies, I know all too well. McAllister making his way back.
There's a bad settle there.
Sloppy touch. Carson King. Fortunately, Jack Edwards is able to regain for CBC. He's going to look for Dempster in the middle. A little too simple. DeSmet's going to sort that out every time. Kasich can't get on the end of it. Edwards again. Kasich brought down. He is brought down. That's a foul going CBC's way. Taken very quickly by CBC. They want to get on with this. 12 minutes and 35 seconds to go. With the intensity of this game, you wouldn't know it's early season, would you, Tim?
This is smelling of MCC title on the line. I know the team that comes out with the victory here is going to have a distinctive edge going into the regular league play. Ooh, battle here. Nice job
Good ball
here.
In. Opportunity.
Ball can't
Ball
seem
falls.
to settle.
McKell.
Off the outside of the goal.
That is the side netting with the left foot of McKell. You know he's a goal scorer because every time the ball's bouncing into an empty space, he is right there. His anticipation has been superb. So far, he just can't quite put the crowning stat on the possession he's gotten.
Looks like Wessa is coming back into the game.
Yep. 11:41. Payne's goal kick. Hangs up a little bit, comes down about midfield. Larson is on it. Again, Larson on a yellow card. Wessa on a yellow card. Edwards for CBC on a yellow card. So there are a few guys out there who need to watch themselves. McAllister's free throw in. CBC take the throw quickly. Edwards,
Edwards
tries to find Walsh. Misses.
Pokes it a little too far.
And Deweese there to sort it out. Only as far as Wessa, though. And now Kurt Miller showing some speed to cover over to that right-hand side. And you can see the idea there from Edwards trying to find Walsh. Just a little heavy on the touch. That's a potent combination if you can get the timing and the weight right. And that's clear. Don't bounce over the fence. There we go. Under 11 to go. Again, 1-0 DeSmet. If you're just joining us, it has been an intense affair. Not a whole lot of possession for CBC in the first half. DeSmet doing a nice job of disrupting it, generated a few chances early in the first half. CBC generated a few chances very late in the second half, or in the first half. Second half so far a little bit frustrating for CBC. They generated some chances a few minutes ago, but not before DeSmet was able to get out to a 1-goal lead. Right now, it is CBC throwing numbers forward. They've got their starting lineup out. They've got what Coach Mickler feels is his strongest 11 at the moment going forward, and they are doing everything they can to get on the score sheet. And the heroics of Logan Payne are the only reason DeSmet still has a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, he's really only been tested twice today, and both times up to the task.
Edwards on the wing. He's closed down by Wessa.
Oh, here's a...
DeWeese tries to clear. That is out of bounds, but it will be CBC's ball. And that one's going to go. Oh, that's going to stay in, fortunately. Very relieved ball boy. Now McAllister's throw. 9 minutes, 35 seconds to go on this clock. Again, what's at stake here? If CBC goes down 1-0, they will be in third place. They will be tied for third with Vianney at 0 points, whereas DeSmet will be in second behind SLU with 5 points. Whereas if CBC can get a goal, they would be tied for second at 2 points, 6 points behind SLU. Basically beat SLU by a couple of goals on Thursday, and you're right back in it. So a lot riding on this. You do not want to start off the CBC tournament with a loss, especially if it's a shutout and you give that point as well. Again, 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw, 1 for a shutout, and points for each goal up to 6, I believe.
Here's a fast break.
That's Benoist. McKell. Still McKell. Getting trapped with it a little bit. Doing one too many touches. He needed to ping it out wide.
Ping that out wide.
And you can see a very dispirited Nate Tem out there. Wondering why that ball wasn't played to him sooner. Tem's ball in.
Just a little too far.
A little too far for Dempster. 8:25 now. Logan Payne in no rush to give this a boot. Let everybody get forward. Let everybody get settled. Take a little breather. Oh, and the clock runs down too. This one will be won by Kasich, Benoist, and now Walsh. Walsh needs to settle this. Edwards is in the middle, needs to end up with this ball somehow.
Oh.
No, Kurt Miller is going to give it away. This is Gruey. This is Nick Gruey. Beats McAllister. Can't quite beat DeWeese on the come around. Nice job by DeWeese of getting back. That's why you hustle back. Dempster. Little pressure on Anderson. He ends up with the ball. It's his reward.
Oh, but just off the toe.
We've seen a number of those 30-yard balls for CBC a little bit off. Avi Wessa is going to get called for the foul there, duking it out with Tem. If you're wearing purple, you'll say it was the right call. If you're not, you might say it was 50-50, but things going, it's CBC's ball. Tem gets the turn. Fires in a right-footed cross, only as far as about the second man for DeSmet. But again, they have that passing lane shut down. The discipline we saw from DeSmet in the first half is carrying over in the second half. You can tell the legs are starting to get a little bit tired. They're not covering spaces just like they used to in the first half, but the discipline and the shape are still there. Kasich. DeWeese, 7 minutes to go on this clock. CBC needs something here. Like to see maybe a diagonal ball here. Just get the ball in a dangerous area.
Like to see a little bit more, I don't know, swinging the ball from side to side. It's a lot directly towards the goal.
Yep.
Oof.
They just need to be a little bit more creative.
Looks like we're going to have a stoppage here.
Yep. This is a card. And we got another card going DeSmet's way. That is Nicolason. That is Eric Nicolason goes in the book as well. And the clock stopped at 6:35. DeWeese is going to take this for CBC. He is going to
play short, yep.
McAllister. Back to Deweese. I would expect a diagonal at this point. There it is.
Oh.
Closed down, just a little too slow on it. Got closed down by, I believe, Nick Gruey, number 23. And Deweese on the throw. Tem. Nolan Deweese. Nate Tem looking in the middle.
Nobody.
Good anticipation from DeSmet. Randazzo way off his line. He's going to win this. He needs to get rid of it, though. Nick Randazzo trying to slalom people at midfield. Finally gets rid of it. Now Nate Tem.
Oh.
Boy, that was nervy, but nervy for us. I think Nick Randazzo will say he was under total control the whole time. I like the anticipation, though. Goalkeepers need to be on their front feet these days.
Oh, great ball here.
Nick Dempster.
Oh,
Nick
misses
Dempster
it.
had a chance to level it, and he fires it wide. What a chance that was. Nick Dempster just unleashing wide of his near post.
That was a great ball. I think that was Reese McKell who had the perfect touch to get that into space. Dempster just getting a little excited. Picked the correct side.
He did.
Logan Payne had no play on that.
No, that had goal written all over it, but it just sails wide with 5:11 to go. How costly will that be for CBC? Randazzo again out of his box.
He's going to put that out of bounds.
I like it. Again, with the way CBC is playing, they're throwing everybody up. That opens a huge gap between the backs and the goalkeeper. If the forwards for DeSmet know the goalkeeper is going to be fast off his line, is going to be assertive, is going to be brave, it puts an extra thought in their head. You absolutely have to play that way when you're pushing up. You see it, the likes of, as Avi West's shot's going to go harmlessly wide. You see it, Manuel Neuer, if you're into goalkeeping, is kind of the case in point. 2010 World Cup. Had a game against Algeria, I believe it was, claimed 19 balls outside the penalty area. That is the new wave of goalkeeping, and Nick Randazzo exemplifying it well. 4 minutes and 24 seconds to go. And Tem can't keep it in bounds. It'll be a DeSmet throw. I think he'll want to make sure his shin guard is in place, his shoes are tied. Going to make a substitution here. Substitution is going to be number 6. That is Sean Linkogel. Clock's going to go below 4 minutes. Again, 2 stellar second-half saves from Logan Payne and a near miss from Nick Dempster, keeping it a 1-0 advantage for DeSmet. 3 points in this tournament hanging in the balance for CBC if they can somehow get an equalizer.
Oh.
Yep. And that's McKell bringing down his man. And McKell is directed out of trouble by the official. He's letting his mind be known.
McKell's very lucky there.
He is. Especially he's been involved in a couple. I think next one sees him in the book. That's played long. Knocked on by Linkogel. Now Walsh. That was Benoist. Now DeSmet trying to get him behind. Regain. This is Kasich. Jack Edwards, he's got space to move into. He's got Dempster left. He's got McKell right. Still Edwards. He lays it off to McKell. McKell's got Tem in support. But instead he finds Avi Wessa. Tem's able to regain with the help of Jack Edwards, but just a little lack of sharpness from CBC in the passing over the last 20 minutes or so, exemplified there. Tackle comes in. It's a good one. It will be a CBC throw. 2:40 to go in this game. DeSmet up 1-0. Some chances gone wanting for CBC. Really a great opportunity. And how urgent is it? Jack Edwards is taking the free throw, or the throw in. He's going to leave it to McAllister.
Oh, too
McAllister
slow.
looks to get it in. He's not quick enough. This ball is played out. It's going to be Kurt Miller, rather. Kurt Miller beats one man. This ball is going to find Nick Randazzo again playing up in support of his midfield. Ball dumped in. 2 minutes and 9 seconds now. McAllister on the right-hand side. Now Edwards. Edwards has Colton Walsh in the middle. Walsh needs to take an aggressive move here. There it is. He pings it wide. This is Benoist. Benoist has support here from Kasich. Kasich plays it in the space. Larson beats him to it. And that is played out of bounds. A lawn chair doing the work of a ball boy right there. McKell. Dumps it in, doesn't find anybody. 1 minute and 32 seconds now for CBC. Time starting to run out, desperation starting to increase. It will be a DeSmet free kick, and they will be in no hurry to take this. 1:22 on the clock, and again, I think you make sure your shoes tied, you make sure your shin guard's in place, you make sure everybody's doing okay. That's what I do. Minute 10. Ball only as far as Colton Walsh. Heads it in. This will be chased down by Dempster. Now Avi Wessa. 55 seconds to go. You cannot give up another goal here if you are CBC. Kurt Miller, can he start him on the counter? 47 seconds to go. Walsh, far side. He's got Dempster. Dempster goes shot, and that is saved. I think you have to play it in for McKell. I like the aggressiveness, but you have to find the man who's scoring.
That's it. That's an easy position save. Logan Payne had all of the angles there.
It is. If that ball's played across to Reese McKell, very different story for Logan Payne. He's in all sorts of trouble at that point. Kasich's going to take this. 20 seconds to go on the clock. Ooh, foul coming in from behind. And kicking away is DeSmet. 12 seconds. No stoppage despite the foul. Kasich, 7 seconds. Nick Randazzo's coming up. Might as well. 5 seconds.
Short.
Ball cleared out. Randazzo gets called for a handball, and that will do it. So in their first game of the CBC tournament, the hosting Cadets fall to the Spartans of DeSmet by a score of 1-0. Your verdict on the game, Tim?
Set plays. It came down to one set play, one mistake in those set plays. It's happened a few times with past CBC teams, giving up crucial goals to set plays.
Well, not the evening you were hoping for if you're a CBC fan, but we do want to thank you for joining us. Again, a very emotional night here as we remember Brett Bozeski, and also as we encourage everybody to support one of our own, Zach Tierney 06. Remember, GoFundMe/Tierney Necessities. You want to check that out. Help us support one of our own. So that's going to do it for us, the broadcast. Last thing we have to do is give the Man of the Match award, and I think I'm not just being biased toward goalkeepers when I say it is Logan Payne. Even the former striker sitting next to me agrees. Logan Payne is our player of the game. 2 huge saves right when CBC was starting to get on the front foot and really ask some questions at DeSmet. So congratulations to Logan. Congratulations to the Spartans on a well-played, well-fought game. And CBC will have some work to do against SLU on Thursday. I want to encourage you to come out and join us, but we will be bringing you that game here on CSN. Come out and join us and listen to us on your earbuds. It'll be great. You get the best of both worlds. That's going to do it for us. I want to thank all of our sponsors. Thank you. For Tim Halfman-Morris, for Charlie Hines working the broadcast, for Randy Gardner, thank you. And we will see you guys on Thursday night.